Hey friends, welcome back to Llama Mama Kayla's Yarn Tube. I'm Kayla, and I want to say thank you for stopping by for a visit today. I hope that you're all doing great and having a wonderful day, and I'm excited to be here with you also. So today I'm starting a new crochet journey, and I want to invite you to come along with me. If you want to join in, that's great. If you just want to watch and hang out with me while I show progress, that is awesome too. So this particular video is about the blanket Sophie's Universe. Here is the pattern for that blanket. It's called Sophie's Universe, and this is the pattern. That's the only pattern in this book. It looks a little intimidating, but it is broke down in parts. And I've looked through like the first couple of parts, and it's very doable. It's just one row at a time. You can't look at the whole blanket. You have to just look at one row at a time because you're not stitching the whole blanket at one time. You're just stitching one row. So it is very doable, and I believe I'm going to be able to do it. So I believe you could do it also. Anyway, this book can be found on Amazon, and I will leave a link below where you can find this book on Amazon. There may be some YouTube tutorials on it. I'm not quite sure if it's full tutorials or what. I haven't looked for that, but I think someone mentioned that there was tutorials, if I recall. I think so. Anyway, so in this book, it is a lot of information. I didn't read everything because I just wanted to get the gist of it and get to work. Okay, I haven't started working on it yet, but it's coming. I'm ready. Okay, so this particular pattern, the book, here it is made in like 3 different weights and 3 different types of yarn. Well, I chose that I'm going to do it in these colors, but not with that yarn. I'm not using the little tiny thin yarns. I'm using 4-weight yarn because that's what I have. That's what I'm comfortable working with, and um, that's my yarn. Okay, and so this list right here, it lists some colors that they used in these different brands. It lists the hook sizes they used. One section here used a 5mm hook. One section used like a 3.5mm hook, and one section used a 2.5mm hook. The color, you can do this in any colors, but I did like the colors that this blanket turns out to be, so I wanted to pick these colors. And that particular section is using a 2.5mm hook. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Also, that particular section says to make the small blanket. Here's to make the large, medium, and small. So I want my blanket to be large. The only thing I'm using out here is the colors. I'm using those as my guide. And so I am going to be using a 6mm hook, my J hook, because I like using J hooks on blankets. I like the drapiness that it gives, and that's my go-to hook for blankets. So I'm using a J hook. So that means I will be using more yarn because I'm using a larger hook. Okay, so I don't actually know how much yarn this blanket is going to use. At one point, I was going to order yarn from a particular company online, and I looked through and picked out the colors that I was going to order, but I had no idea how much yarn I was going to need. And so I just kind of thought on that for a little while and had that just sitting in the back of my mind. And I never did order the yarn because I didn't know how much to order. And the time come that, like, okay, if I'm going to order yarn, I've got to do it today. And so I looked at it again, and I still just, there's no way for me to figure out how much yarn I'm going to need because I'm using a way bigger hook, and their yarn is written down in meters, and I didn't even have the brain power to figure that out. I'm just doing good to do day by day, and any extra on me, like figuring out, converting meters to yards and all that kind of stuff was just beyond my ability at the time. It probably still is. I mean, I do know how to figure that out, but I'd have to do it for every color, and I just don't have I don't have it in me to sit there and figure that out. I just want to be easy, okay? I don't want anything complicated. So I'm making this easy for myself. So I finally decided Hobby Lobby has I Love This Yarn in all colors. I mean, whatever color you can think of, they most likely have the yarn for that. They always have those colors. They're always restocking those colors. At my Hobby Lobby, I never go and they're out of colors. They're always restocking. So I decided I'm going to Hobby Lobby and I'm going to get the yarn that I'm going to make this blanket with. I don't know how much yarn to get. I'm going to start with a skein of each color, and then I will go back and get more yarn. So I decided this, of course, on the week where it was not 30% off. So I had to wait until this week when the yarn was 30% off. So last night I did go and get my yarn from Hobby Lobby. Now I wrote down the colors that are right here, and there's a couple of them, there's two of them that I had no idea what color that is. Like, what? Like, there's a color called Moor, Moors, and there's a color called Heath, Heath. So I did have to look them up on that yarn's website to see what color I could, the color was, and that I could pick a color. So I'm going to go down the line of the colors that the book had listed, and I'm going to share with you the color that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I love this yarn. Pull this chair closer to me so I can put some yarn in it. Okay, so the first color was Canary, and so I picked up this yellow. Now, Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn is all a 4-weight yarn, and these particular skeins are 355 yards. I'm not sure if I need more than that or not. If I do, I'll just go on a 30% off week back to Hobby Lobby and buy more yarn. But this is what I got for Canary. So my Canary is yellow. The next color on the list was light pink. So here is my light pink. And I will say that this color here is yellow. So I picked this for my light pink, and it is called Soft Pink. The next color was Fuchsia, and this is the color I got for Fuchsia. It is called Hot Rose. So that is my Fuchsia. Okay, and then it was color Pink. And this is the color I got for the pink, and it is called Pink. How about that? The next color on the list was the Moors, Moors. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but it is a purple. So I think I picked this color right here for that purple, and this is called Periwinkle, and that is my purple. The next color listed is light green, and here's what I picked for my light green. And this color is called M-E-N-T-H-E, mint. It's not mint, but mint. And that's what I picked for my light green. And then I needed a color for turquoise. So here is the color I picked for turquoise, and it is called Peacock. And then the next color on the list is light turquoise. So I picked this one for light turquoise, and it is called Turquoise. So here is my turquoise and light turquoise. Okay, and the next color was violet, and this is what I picked for the violet. It is amethyst. So that is my violet color. And then the next color was that Heath, H-E-A-T-H, and when I looked it up, it was a dark purple. And so here is my dark purple that I chose, and it is actually called Grape, but that is my dark purple. And another color is light purple. So here is my light purple, and it is called Orchid. That is my light purple. So actually there is 4 shades of purple. and I just put them in the best, how they fit. I needed a light, I needed a dark, I needed violet, and I needed purple. So I just kind of arranged them where they fit the best. Um, let me look at one thing here. I was confused about something while I was in the store. I don't know why when I was in the store I thought I needed a light green and a green, but I didn't. I did buy a green. I did buy a green, but it's actually not called for. I don't know. I had my list with me, but I also had Big Daddy with me, and he's like, "Oh, this is pretty," and I just wasn't thinking straight. So the colors in here list canary, light pink, fuchsia, pink, the Moors, light green, turquoise, light turquoise, violet, heath, and light purple. There is no green. So I will save that for like a St. Patrick's Day project. And I did get a couple extras of the light turquoise because I know that particular one is going to use a lot of yarn. So I went ahead and got 3 of it to get me started, and I will have to go back and get more of that, but I'll just wait until it's on sale. And also by the time I get into this good, I'll know, like, maybe I'll have a better idea of how much yarn to get. I'm not sure. I'll just do it every other week. I'll buy what I need, I guess. Who knows? But that's my story, okay? And so this pattern is broke down into parts. And so I'm going to be starting part 1. And here's part 1. And so at the bottom of this page for part 1, it tells you it's rounds 1 through 8. And it does tell you which color each of those rounds are if you're going by the colors in the book. And so I'm going by this first section right here. So I'm going to make my rounds the colors that I bought to coordinate with those colors. Hello, Big Daddy.
Hey,
And so,
hey, everybody in Yarn Land.
So this week I'm going to do part 1, and then I'm going to be back next Tuesday to share with you my part 1, what it looks like, my progress, and all that kind of stuff. So I think I will be updating on this blanket on Tuesdays. That is going to be my Sophie's Universe update video. I don't know if I'm going to do like a part a week or, however. I'm just going to work on it, okay? I'm confident I can get part 1 done in this week. I don't know about part 2, 3, 4. And it is 18 parts in this book. So there will be times where, as you go around, the blanket gets bigger. It takes longer to make the rounds. So there will be weeks where I might be on a certain part for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. Life happens, and so we will just see ever how it plays out. Now, I cannot do a tutorial on the pattern because it's a book. I didn't write the book. I didn't write the pattern. I don't own it. That would be stealing, and I could get in, trouble if I did a tutorial on how to do someone else's pattern. So that's not going to happen. But there might be something online. I didn't look for it, but I believe someone in the comments way back when mentioned that, and I didn't look it up to see. But anyway, the book is easy to understand. It gives direct instructions, so that's what I'm going to use. Anyway, guys, there are some other people also doing this book. There are some other YouTube creators, content creators doing the book. I know that Lynette at Charmed Grammy Crochet is going to be doing this blanket. I don't know if she has started yet. And I know that Mad Mimi's Crochet, which is Laura. She is also doing the blanket. There are some other people doing the blanket also. I don't know who all is involved in that. I do know that some of them are in like a Facebook group or Messenger, and they do Zoom together. I don't do any of those things, so I'm just flying solo on my own. I don't really know their plans to try to stick with them, because I'm not in those groups with them, so I don't really know what they're doing. So I'm just flying solo. I can only worry about myself. I mean, honestly. But I do want to tell you that Laura and Lynette are also doing blankets, and from their channels you might can find other people who are also doing the blanket, because they're in Zoom with a lot more people that I might not be familiar with, or I just didn't catch all the names. But I do watch Lynette and Laura, so I know they're doing the blankets. I did try to go back and look for some people to see if they were telling their plans. I tried to go back, but titles of videos don't always tell you what they're talking about in the video, and so I just couldn't figure it out. I mean, I did watch one that Laura had just put up, and she was showing the colors that she is using, and her blanket's going to be beautiful. She loves the color orange, and so she is not going by any of the color schemes in the book. She's making up her own and using yarn she already has, which is awesome. I would have used some yarn that I already had, but what is going to be my new yarn room is where all my yarn got put, but also a lot of other stuff got shoved in there in the meantime, and I cannot get to my yarn. So, yeah. But anyway, I think this blanket is going to be very beautiful. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun to work on. I love doing projects like this. And as I had said before, that this is going to be a very nice project in the end. And I fully intend for my children to fight until one of them's death over this project when I'm dead and gone. They won't. Dakota would probably get it because Elijah wouldn't care. But I'm going to tell them that I fully intend for them to fight until one of them's death over this project. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me and hearing about my Sophie's Universe plans. And like I said, on Tuesdays, I will be updating on this blanket. So come back and see me next Tuesday to see my progress. And I will also be giving updates on Instagram and showing photos of it. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it is Llama with 2 L's, llama.mama.kayla. So you can find me on Instagram if you would like to. And I will be giving, updates there. So I'm going to let you all get going, and I'm going to go start part 1 of my project. Remember, guys, it is a beautiful day to crochet, and I will see you all again in the next video. Bye, friends.